no, hold on, wait, no, there it is. I found it. There we go.
There we are.
There's Emily right there. I mean,
Right.
you know, they're still there. Like they have to approve all of these things. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, because they own the IP. Also, again, like it fully shows that Hasbro has backed off the O-ring and the 3.75 scale pretty much exclusively at this point. They've stepped off because I don't think we would have seen those packs available through Super 7. Because, you know, you got the reaction pack for the mothership gunners, and then there's the O-ring pack as well that they put up as available options.
That's actually a really good point, Oz. I mean, you know, I'm going to put it to both of you guys. The fact that Super 7 is actually teasing the O-ring line, does this mean this is because a lot of people have already said that Hasbro screwed up the O-ring line, and then, you know, is this proof positive that they're actually pretty much giving up on the O-ring line and they're letting other companies take a stab at it? What do you guys think, Jeff?
I think Hasbro has kind of been backing off on on the 3.75 for a while. We saw those really cool retro Grunt, Stalker, and Cobra Trooper, and I felt like, okay, they're going to do something really amazing, but those figures were like $15, and a classified series were $20 at that price. I was like, well, I'm going to go get more for my money. Paying $5 for better sculpt, better articulation. And I love that Grunt, that Stalker, and the Cobra Trooper. They're out of scale with the 25th anniversary one. So it's like they don't really fit in there. And once I saw them kind of come and go without any support, I knew they weren't going to keep going. And Super 7 allows them an outlet to keep rolling with keeping that format alive for people who want it, tied it into a big crowd fund like this mothership. And Hasbro reaps in whatever they make from this partnership with Super 7, and everybody's happy. So the people who want 3.75 Joes can still get them. Those who want a classified series can get them directly from Hasbro without the benefit of markups from Super 7.
Absolutely, and I totally agree. Oz, what are your thoughts?
I think right now they are focusing on their 6-inch classifieds. It's been making them a lot of money. The competition from Action Force with the Valaverse stuff has forced them to really look at that line and focus their efforts there, because we've seen, whereas initially with Classified, that futuristic kind of weapon thing, like nobody was really getting into that. They wanted that more classic GI Joe, more, you know, like not necessarily the vintage weapons and such, but they wanted that more modern look to it, you know, the weapons of today rather. And, you know, the competition from Valaverse and, you know, Action Force really forced them to be like, okay, what do we need to do for this line to succeed? Because we don't like seeing our own IP fail. Right. And they backed off the O-ring. And I think they were like, well, there's still a big market for O-ring because the Sky Striker kind of proved that. Mm-hmm. They just don't have the resources to dedicate it. So when you've got a company like Super 7 who's already doing a similar thing with less articulation, and like, let's face it, those reaction figures are selling kind of gangbusters, you know? So why not pass that torch on to somebody else who can dedicate resources to it, and you're still pulling all the licensing fees because you own it. Mm-hmm. You're just printing money for yourself at that point, and it's on somebody else's expense because you're not doing the tooling. You're not paying for any of that. That's all on Super 7 at this point.
That is an interesting point. Let's start one. Jeffrey, where did you get that Black Panther sweater? I need that in my life.
My wife is my dealer for all my sweatshirts and t-shirts, so she surprises me. Hey, I got this for you. So I'll ask her and put it in the comments later.
You've got a great wife, man. That's yes. Crazy.
Jeffrey, this gives me an idea. Your wife needs to go into that. What's that? Affiliate marketing. Right. And then she needs to start selling all these hoodies.
For the store, for all the stores, yeah.
Actually, you know what? You can definitely make something on that one. That's pretty
probably. And as you mentioned something, because I feel like when we started to see the classified series, it had that initial buzz and people were so excited. It's like 6-inch G.I. Joe figures finally.
Right.
And then it was like, well, this isn't quite what I had in mind. And Hasbro's credit, they weren't, no, you're going to take this. They were like, okay, what happens if we went to a more retro look? Oh, you guys like it even more. Great. So I think with that reaction, seeing that, oh, we can beat Valorverse, and people are going, who needs Valorverse? I've got G.I. Joe the way I want it. I think they were like, yeah, we don't need to worry with this. And I think we've seen that with the crowd funds where every tier has been matched, where the Sky Striker had that momentum, but it wasn't able to get all of its tiers back. And it was, the His Tank and the Dragonfly were just as expensive or more expensive in some cases. So it's like, all right, well, if we got to put all our chips somewhere, we got to go with the one that's making money and has that fan interest without a comic book right now, without a cartoon, without a movie.
Right.
And we're beating Marvel Legends, we're beating out Star Wars, and both of these have shows coming every other month on Disney Plus. So we don't even need
oversaturated.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Lots and Wallace. Yo, Jeffrey, Jay, and Oz. How's it going? Good to see you, brother. How you doing tonight? We're just talking about running out of time. There's a lot of things which are coming up for the last hurrah for tonight. So a lot of things going on. Justin, apparently it costs too much to make O-rings and the profits are not there anymore. That is what the indie O-ring companies are saying. Okay, but you know what? We haven't had any official statements from Hasbro as to what's more expensive, what's not expensive. Now they did mention that years ago. It's really expensive.
Yeah.
And then they just decided to go make brand new O-rings from silicone. So
that's right.
It's weird. It's a weird thing.
They said that right before the 25th anniversary line started rolling out. They were like, "Oh, it's too expensive to do this," and then it was like, 3 months later, they were like, "Oh, hey, by the way, guys, here you go."
You're welcome.
They like that money, man. They just like that money. That's all it is. AW00091. Just curious, how many figure lines are the three of you in on? I'm big on Marvel Legends and Black Series. That is a terrible question. That is a loaded question. It's not a terrible question. Sorry, it's a loaded question. Oh my God.
Why you gotta attack me like that?
I know. Oh my God. Wait, jeez Louise. I'm gonna let Oz go first, then Jeffrey. I'm gonna
God. Well, I'm probably the most limited. I've got Masters Universe Origins. I've backed off of Masterverse for the most part, but I'm still kind of like cherry picking. Then I've got Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, Figure Obscura from Four Horsemen. Like, all the way, I'm loving everything there. I completed the Kenner Classics, so at least I don't have to worry about anything along those lines anymore unless they announce a Kenner Classics Firehouse, which I want, but at the same time, I'm dreading. And then on top of that, just recently, I dipped a little further into Marvel Legends. Last year around this time, somebody gifted me a Weapon X and Jean Grey from Age of Apocalypse. And just recently at Ollie's, saw the other AOA wave with the Colossus Build-A-Figure. Managed to snag the whole thing and Apocalypse for less than $100. How could I say no to that? That's my favorite story arc of X-Men ever. And it was less than $100 for an entire Build-A-Figure wave and Apocalypse. I couldn't say no to that. But that's really stretching my limit right there. Like, if those weren't at that price, I probably would have just continued to pass on them. But, I mean, that's really the extent of your wallet can only go so far. You can't have all of these things. Unless you're Terrence St. John and you're backing the entire toy industry all across the board, several crowd funds. I mean, Terrence is the man. But yeah, I mean, that's really where I'm
at. Jeff, do you even want to answer this question? Because I think it may incriminate both of us. I mean,
I have no problem. So there we go. Marvel Legends for sure. There we go. Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe Classified Series, of course. Just looking to see what's right over there. McFarlane, when he does classic DC characters that are actually in scale with each other. So that's kind of getting limited now. WWE, certain AEW have kind of gotten out of those, but I'll occasionally see something cool and grab them. Let's see. Oh, Star Wars Black Series. Storm Collectibles is coming back now because they're putting out figures that I wanted. So like the Terry Bogard that they're re-releasing. That got me excited. Like, oh shoot, And then now they're putting out the Street Fighter 2 Ken and Ryu set. What else? Mafex DC. I don't really dabble into their Marvel stuff, but definitely the DC. So got Cyborg Superman staring at me from the review queue going, when do I get up here? And then Transformers Studio Series 86. Did that cover everything? Let's see. Yeah, I think that's everything. That's just a few stuff.
Liar. Liar. Oh my gosh! If I had
and Hot Toys, yeah,
I know
exactly.
That's what you stupid liar.
Oh, and Masters of the Universe. So yeah,
what's the point? It's impossible. You're just gonna keep tripping over yourself if you really.
Like, wait a second. It's like, what else is around the corner?
Pretty much, you're gonna hurt yourself if you really think about it.
You guys got some lost toy lines hanging around that you just forgot about because they're underneath the other ones.
Right.
That's Jay's problem. Actually, he's got so many because we all know how Jay doesn't like to open up his toys. You know, he's
Screw you, man. Screw you, dude.
He's got boxes behind boxes.
Oh god, yeah, and I gotta get rid of them all. It's ridiculous. I mean, if I'm just gonna name the few that I'm really collecting right now because if we'll be here forever if I talk about how many I actually collect. Motu is gonna be my number one, 100%. That's not even gonna be. There's no question. Absolutely,
right.
Motu is number one. Thundercats is probably my number two. Then GI Joe. Then what's it called? Transformers, Star Wars. What's it called? Sometimes DC. I don't always order a lot of DC stuff. Not as much as not nearly as much as I should or would have actually. Power Rangers. McFarlane has so many different lines that I'm into, and I really should decide on what I'm doing there. Whether it's Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Princess Bride, like so many different other things that are just like burying me. Like the Dune line is coming back, which is just absolutely bonkers. And I'm doing that again. I'm actually going through every single line. I shouldn't be doing this. It's just a bad idea. But yeah, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna stop right there because I'm just gonna bury myself and date myself, which it's just a terrible thing.
Silverhawk Ultimate, got TMNT in there a little bit.
Oh my god, just absolutely.
Stop. And McFarlane's bringing back the sports picks, so I'm excited about that.
And you know what though? They need to fix those face sculpts. Like somebody buy him a face sculpt scanner.
Well, hold on. That reminds me of another big clearance thing that people have been seeing. Have you guys been seeing the starting lineups? $70 figures popping up for like 15 a piece.
What would you expect?
Man, I'm almost like I don't even like the starting lineup figs. I really don't care for them. Like the classic ones was a different story. I was more into sports back then, but I almost feel like it's at a principle now. Be like, if you want to charge for starting lineup figs, this is the price you should set it at because now people will buy it.
It was just such a terrible price point. It's like they didn't want it to succeed.
Horrible.
They didn't do any of the normal things we see with figure lines. It was like, here's the first 6. Where's wave 2?
Yeah.
Awful.
No, nothing. What about Legends? Maybe. And it's like, come on.
There was no variety in the sports either. They were just like, and here's your basketball.
Yeah.
Right. And then months later, and now it's that during football season. It was like, why don't you have football players starting off first? And then go to basketball later? Because that would make more sense.
Yeah.
And then they showed the teaser video of football, and that was it. It's like, come on.
Right? And they were like, all right, we're out. We can't do that.
It was a mistake from the beginning. They had no idea what they're doing. They concentrated more on the shoes than they did on the players.
Yes.
That was a mistake.
Yeah. And they had that horrible diaper in the middle. Like, look, I've never seen sports players with cups that big. That diaper was definitely a diaper, and I don't know why.
They put the money in the wrong places. You know what I mean? Instead of like screw the shoes because you paid a lot of money for those damn shoes. Get the logos for crying out loud. Get the free. Like
they didn't even have logos. They were just the colors.
Pay the NBA PA Association. Pay the NBA. Pay each team. That would have been a much better use of those things. The facial sculpts were not 100%. They were actually pretty bad. It was
minimal at best. Minimal.
Just crazy. Just absolutely nuts. Lots and Wallace. Giant Man should have been an easy layup for Marvel Legends. They just blew it this one by not offering tiers. Once you upset the fans, it's hard to get them back on board. I've been saying it. Oz been saying it. Jeff, what are your thoughts on the tiers? I say they're weak. What? Oh, Jeff's just rolling his eyes. This is just not good. This is just not good at all.
It was one of those things where they're trying to go, oh, well, you guys didn't want any figures behind the paywall. And it's like, no, because you guys didn't need to use that excuse with the Sentinel. You didn't need to do that with Galactus. You just chose the wrong figures for the Engine of Vengeance. And you don't need to take that out on us because you guys learned the wrong lesson. Nobody wanted Goblin Queen, Mephisto, and that version of Damon Hellstrom tied in with Ghost Rider. It was like, give us Ghost Rider, give us some of his villains. Robbie Reyes doesn't have any villains that we've gotten figured for him. Put them in there with his tiers. So instead, they took the wrong lesson, and they've been going on the promotional circuit going, well, if you had figures, the price would cost more. And it's like, well, those heads probably aren't free, and I don't need them baked into it because I definitely don't care about them, don't want them, don't need them. The Giant Man doesn't work alongside the MCU zombies you've made, or the zombies, and then the Skrulls don't really match up with him either. So this Wasp that they're finally showing, revealing at the last minute, I think if she were tier 1, people would have really backed it. If tier 2 or a 6-inch Giant Man, that would have helped. Tier 3, Ultron Mark 1, that would have helped. Jarvis at tier 4. I mean, we saw that last minute surge with the Ghost because I was like, geez, this is not going to fun with all these, with Kane and Zeb still left out in the wind. And then all of a sudden it was like, bam, sorry, we got this funded all the way. Now we're going to the next level. So it's crazy because I really was like, man, this is such a ripoff for everybody who backed the Ghost thinking they're going to get the whole crew. Because it's like, why would you back it and not get everybody? And then it hit the finish line so much that it would have reached another 3,000 tier like they had set up with the others. So it was like, jeez. So I think with figures, that's the big lure for these crowdfund projects, and to not include them, to include heads. Because if you would think that, the one ridiculed thing with that Galactus was the dumb Dr. Doom head, nobody was like, oh, that's awesome. They were like, put in another Herald. And they're like, okay, we're going to re-release the Terex and, the Fallen one. And that was cool. But people probably would have been more excited to get Firelord and get him through that as opposed to, all right, I'm going to get him in this Fantastic Four retro card. So, nobody cares about extra heads unless it's something really cool and really makes sense. And, if you don't have a Skrull army because you've limited the Skrulls to 5 figures, so you can't really mass army build them, you're kind of short anyway. So I hate those tiers. I don't care if they get backed whatsoever. I was looking last night on eBay, and the prices of the Sentinel figures are like $90 a piece or $100 for 2 of them. So I think people would have bought into the set because it's like, oh, cool. At least I can recoup some of this money selling off the 6-inch Giant Man. Mm-hmm. And I feel like without doing that, they don't have to worry about people selling off a Skrull head that they don't have the figure to attach to. It's just hanging loose, like all these Doom heads you'd see on eBay.
Yep. Lachlan says he was in on day 1 and a fan of Marvel's of classic Marvel stuff and reading comics for 50 years. Earlier before you hopped on, Jeff, people were commenting things like he's a B, he's a D level character, and we were like, what are you talking about?
No.
Tell me you're under 20. And without telling me you're under 20, like,
well, tell me you only watch the movies, right? I mean, like
even in there, he's like,
he
still plays a prominent role.
100%. Like it's really crazy. But it comes out of the generations, right? That's and if you're not a comic book fan from this era, it'll happen, right?
I kind of feel like these HasLabs have to be for our generation who can spend $300 to $500 on these projects. Whereas, like, don't worry about trying to include a Secret Invasion head or a zombie head because everybody loves zombies. No, don't do that. Go completely old school. Do a Crimson Cow, the dude version with the swappable Jarvis head.
Yeah, there we
go. Go all in. So people who will go, oh man, this is from that 1976 issue. We're gonna buy it anyway. We've got the disposable cash, and we're not going to worry. We're not going to complain about these tiers. We're not going to complain about the paywall. We're like, great, I've got all these figures I wanted anyway, in addition to this figure.
even if they went the route and did scaled versions, right? Like, okay, you got 24-inch, give me a 12-inch, 6-inch, Ant-Man, because the 6-inch should have swappable heads, Ant-Man, Giant Man look, and then give me a smaller, like 3¼ Ant-Man to kind of scale with this. Like, give me the levels of Giant Man. And I think that really could have been something that if they'd worked that out, this would have been a no-brainer success for a lot of people.
Yeah. And that way people could have been like, oh, cool. I don't need a super big version of Giant Man. I can go with the 18-inch version. And I don't care about the 12-inch version. So there's 2 figures that I can sell. And,
I can put these off.
Right. And people would have bought them. Hasbro wouldn't have seen that extra money. And I think, like I was talking before they announced the tiers, that if they wanted to do a $300 HasLab for them, they could have just done blank bodies that are like 12, 14 inches. So you could then repurpose it for Goliath 3.
Yes.
Put on some more pieces for the Clint Barton version. Throw in some more pieces for Atlas, and you're covered. And you've got your HasLab to fund that new mold. And you guys went out because then you can do, hey, here's some more figures. Your Black Goliath. There's so much they could have done. And I feel like they really dropped the ball and missed an opportunity to get a piece, new tooling funded on our crowdfund dollars, and then sell it again on Pulse.
It's just crazy. Juan Sanchez, even if it was super cheap, a lazy repaint, I think this would have already been backed if it came with a 6-inch Giant Man.
Enough said. There you go.
Yeah, oh my God. They did a really good one back with the Build-A-Figure Ultron. And, it's the Bucky Cap mold, so, it's old and outdated. They could have just repainted that because it had a great head sculpt that would work just fine for it.
It would have worked. They could have reissued it. How much would it have cost them to reissue that?
It should cost nothing. The Bucky Cap mold is terrible now.
So out of date.
Ocean View 888. Yes, this is live, brother. It is live. We are crazy. None of us actually sleep. It's Saturday tomorrow. It's Saturday tomorrow. It's Saturday now. It is Saturday right now.
Saturday night live.
I've got work in 3 hours or 4 hours, whatever.
Karamoko Lopez, what's going on, my friend? I'm all over two with many lines, but I think I purchased my last classified in Marvel Legends. Oh, that's sad to hear. That's sad to hear. But you know what? There are just too many repaints, just too many fumbles. It can happen, man. It can happen.
Does.
It can happen.
I'm curious more about why the last classified series.
Yeah, that is kind of weird though. That is Karamoko. What when you say classified, are you done with G.I. Joe? Is that pretty much it? Like we are curious. I've used classified for vehicles and Mezco for my figures. Huh. Well,
okay. Yeah,
that's an interesting idea. Sure, for sure. MC12. They should show a Giant Man wave with a Build-A-Figure. I think it would be back. Just saying. But I mean,
we've seen it. Toy Biz did that.
Yeah, but you would need a lot of figures to get that big. You know what I mean? He would like
4-inch. Yeah, you would need
huge. I mean, like
these so many pieces. I think it was 9 or 10 figures.
And how many
separate figures to get?
How many different points of articulation is this one? Because it's got more points of articulation than most. So that's definitely a tall order. See what I did there?
Yeah, I hear you. Caramarco Lopez, is that your ASMR voice, Jeff? That's just Jeff's voice.
Wait a minute. Jeff started doing ASMR?
That's just his voice.
She's sleeping in the next room.
AW. Okay, you convinced me. He's seedless. You are not. You are just looking for a fight, aren't you, brother? I've only been reading comics for 35 years. Well, brother, I don't understand why you're putting him in D list. Then what the heck, dude?
maybe if it was a Goliath one, he would have bought.
You're an X-Men fan, right? Like that must be it.
That's what it is. It's the wrong super team. There's a DC fan amongst us.
Antonio Banks, man, Marvel Legend fans are finkled. What?
Finkled. Okay,
finkled. I've never. There's a term. There's a term I haven't heard in 40 years. What the heck is finkled, man? Holy crap! That's like Popeye. Did your finger slip, brother? Like, help us out here. What are you trying to? Does anybody know what he's saying? Because I'm slightly.
I think he's saying fickle.
I think he's saying fickle.
Okay,
Yeah,
fickle. All right,
that
because
makes sense. Yeah.
there was an extra N. Yeah, it's fickle. Okay. I see what you're saying. Sorry, brother. I didn't mean to make fun of anybody, but that was I was completely confused there. I had no idea what was going on.
Hey,
Lotson, people defend Hasbro because they do a lot of heat. They do take a lot of heat from the fans, but this kind of incompetent marketing strategy is why the Legends. Holy crap, Lotson! Don't hold back or anything. You know, don't,
just let it all out, right? Let it all.
the Legends team makes bad decisions and far too many of them. Yeah, but what do you know what? You might as well talk about Star Wars at that point too. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Bag of bones, anybody? We know you all want.
Holy crap! Oh my god! Wow,
Yeah.
Lotson, what like this? Don't hold back. You know, tell us how you really feel. My God, that's crazy. Hey, Shartimus Prime's in the house. What's going on, Shartimus? We were just about to. Honestly, I'm not even joking. We were just about to talk about this little guy.
Up
Shartimus,
next.
if you want to jump on, you're more than welcome to join us.
Who better to chime in?
Yeah, if you're interested, I just sent you the link, Shartimus. But yeah, yeah. Let's go ahead and talk about the Street Humans really quick, because I think we've been beating that dead horse for a little bit, guys. Marvel
Ant-Man's a little beat. Hasbro honestly probably needs like 3 weeks in the OR recovery from the beating they've taken tonight.
Oh my God, it's pretty freaking crazy, Antonio. So if Wasp was a tier with Giant Man and it didn't fund, fans would say that why they would put her in with HasLab. There's going to be a lot of pointing fingers, but you know what? I actually still believe 100%. I think the panel here still believes. I have no problem saying straight up, it's going to fund. I'm like, the price is right. The price.
I really hope it does.
Jeff has got his turtle fingers on, man. He's crossing them all. It's hilarious. He's got his toes crossed too. It's just
Can't you see?
Okay, so Lotson, too many Spider-Man, too many Iron Mans, Black Panthers, Wolverines, not enough characters that have never received a figure. Marvel Universe existed prior to 1992 and is more than just Avengers and X-Men. So explain Batman. All right. Explain Batman. How many Batman do we have right now? Like, it's absolutely just
that's Todd's fault though. Like, he only makes what he likes because he is not beholden to anybody else. So he just makes what he likes.
No worries, Shartimus. I know you got kids and it's really late at night. So, but let's move on a little bit, guys. Let's move on just a little bit. So you know, bringing this up, Street Humans, guys. Street Humans. So good news. That it's up to 14 days now to go, which is great. Shartimus, I've seen Jeffrey's videos before. Great stuff. Excellent. Definitely.
Thank you,
sir. Thank you, Shartimus.
Appreciate it.
100%. Definitely. You should actually, you know what, Jeff, just so you know, Shartimus is looking to talk with other toy tubers about Street Humans. So you might want to reach out to Shartimus.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Get some stuff.
Shartimus, hit me up. We have you jump on the clubhouse tomorrow night.
All right. So yeah, definitely. Oz is available, and so is Jeffrey. 100%.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about Street Humans for a little bit before we wind down a little bit. Justin says Street Humans is missing out on something, and I'm not sure what it is. You know what? One of the things that I talked with Shartimus about Street Humans is that they're supposed to be, in a lot of ways, in many ways, many of them can double as background characters, which is actually something that's really important. Oftentimes, you'll have this whole street diorama, and it's just full of main characters. Right. That kind of gets weird. You know what I mean? Like how often does Spider-Man walk down the street with Superman, and you know what I mean? Like that's a lot.
That's Clark Kent.
You know what I'm saying? So right. I totally see where Shartimus was coming with this particular line. Lawson says I link Dan on my posts on Twitter all the time. Well, there you go. Like, you know, there you go. It's all good. All about the villains. Just laughing it up. It's great. But you know what? I'm very excited about this line, and Shartimus has put a lot of time and passion to this. Oz, what are your thoughts about the Street Humans? Jeff, whoever wants to chime in on this one first. Do you guys is this the first time you guys are hearing about this, or have you guys actually heard about it?
No. Street Humans have been everywhere, definitely since the Kickstarter has gotten out there. And it's great that, again, somebody from within the community is getting out there, getting these toys up. Somebody who's grown from the community. First off, Shartimus, it's great to actually see you get this out here and really try to start getting some traction behind this here. And like Jay said, one of the most important parts is a lot of us look at figure displays, action figure photography being a big thing right now. Like Jay said, if you're trying to do a street scene, right? Like, okay, let's put it out here in the vein of, say, NECA Turtles or something, right? They've got this really, really awesome building display that goes up like 3 stories. They're coming out with their sewer display, which I'm not going to talk too much about that, but you can set this on top of it kind of thing. You get like this whole like, underground to street to top building, right? They've got those sections inside though, like, inside the building part. Where's the normal people? You're just going to sit behind these windows. Where the normal people you put at a street level while all this other stuff's going on, right? That's where Street Humans has like this extra purpose. And you can see like the different monster head sculpts and stuff that he has going on with these. Also add some variability to it as well. These can be worked into a lot of different displays that way. And what I absolutely love about the design here too is like even just seeing this logo like brings me right back to like Streets of Rage.
Oh yeah,
and that classic like 80s brawler beat 'em up arcade game, which hits me in the feels because those were some of my most favorite games to play. And again, like you see here, multiple looks. These are those like varying bad guys that you used to beat up as Double Dragon and stuff like that.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
With the bats.
Yeah, with bats, right? Like just regular street level weapons. It's innovative, it's different, and it's something that I think we've all kind of wanted to have. Generic human being number 1, generic human being number 2, right? Like movies have extras, our displays.
Yeah, and they have a lot of swappable, the swappable features that we can see here. You know what I mean? There's a lot of options. Jeffrey, what are your thoughts about these guys? Like, again, you were just mentioning that this is definitely not the first time you've seen those, I guess.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you even, I do my figure reviews and I'm trying to kind of figure out what the heck I want to do in the background. So these are ideal because I really have great civilians for Juggernaut to grab while Spider-Man is coming in. So this is exactly the kind of thing I'm looking for, where it's like, oh, great. And then for my wrestling backdrops, I kind of feel weird if I've got Hulk Hogan there and I've got some modern wrestlers sitting there in the front row. I was like, no, this is not right. And so these guys can just flow in the crowd and be innocuous and just sitting up there. And it's like, yeah, they work and they help to flesh out your backdrops for any kind of action figure setting. And then if you want, you can just use the alternate heads and swappable parts and then have them fighting the Fantastic Four. Stretcho, what the heck is this? Ben, let me explain. So I love the idea of having civilians that can do all kinds of things, and they'll work for your Daredevil, your Punisher. Punisher never has the same bad guys because he just takes them out. So these guys would be great to have matching their pistols and getting gunned down and mowed down by Frank Castle. Not whoever this guy is they have as the new Punisher.
Yeah, and what we really kind of also take for granted as well is that in terms of video games, like we were just talking about Streets of Rage, right? These guys really do match well with that kind of idea. I literally was just watching my brother play the new Spider-Man 2 game that just came out. And what are you doing half the time in the video game? You're beating up on regular street thugs. That's what you're doing. You're breaking up fights. People are getting mugged or jumped in the street, and you know what? They look exactly like these guys that are here, right? And look at these wonderful street dioramas. That's the other problem with the dioramas that exist. They're mostly streets, right? So it's just these things. You don't want really heavy hitters occupying your entire scene. What you want is guys who can be like just average thugs. I mean, Batman. Who does Batman fight on a regular? He fights thugs, man. He fights guys on the streets.
He fights Catwoman now and all his family apparently.
It's crazy. Lots and Wallace. Every villain needs flunkies, and these street humans could easily fill that role. 100%, absolutely.
Right?
Chris Allen. These really do make great background figures. 100%. Renegade Biker 24. What's going on, brother? How you doing tonight? These look cooler. Absolutely. Sorry. Raymond Chong. I've been using suited wrestlers. Yes, that happened. That's a good use of them. But Raymond's right. These look absolutely cooler. 100%. I totally agree.
You're talking suited wrestlers, right? Not everybody hanging out on the street is in a suit.
This is true.
Right.
This is true. Maximum Max. I'm visioning these figures to do battle in DC Marvel, DC McFarlane figures. I really like them.
Right?
Yeah, this is again. These are it's really amazing how we don't have regular humans on a regular basis. As a matter of fact, when they were doing the Nicolas Cage and who was that other figure that came with him in the 2-pack from the TV show? Anyway, the people have been using that female figure forever because she's got regular streetwear. Even Nicolas Cage, to a certain degree, is just a dude in a wife beater. You know what I mean? So again, people are looking for these types of characters. It really is something, and it's amazing nobody else has figured this out yet. Lawson Wallace says Street Humans seems like a really great idea. Okay. Oz, your audio. Has Oz's audio
been cutting? Well, it might have been better before I was on my phone, but it shouldn't be cutting out on my mic.
It sounds straight now.
Yeah, it sounds
Okay.
good right now. So
Yeah,
Good.
It had gotten a little low, but it's fine now.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Shardamus says, "Oh yeah, by coincidence, some of those SM2 game goons have the same designs as a couple of Street Humans." Oh, this. Yeah, there you go. So it's somewhat by design, but again, it's a happy coincidence, right?
Yeah.
Caramono Lopez. Street Humans are tempting because Shirt is a community member. Well, even if he wasn't, it's to me they're very, very interesting indeed. Shadows Prime saw a black dude with the white tank top and a camo pants in the game. That tripped me out. He had a ski mask on. Yeah, that Spider-Man 2. I swear to God, I was thinking about these as well when I was playing them. Have you guys taken a look at the game, Jeff?
Spider-Man 2?
No, see, there's certain games that I'm determined I'm going to buy when I get a PS5. So that's definitely one. And I'm just clearing out my PS4 games because I still have way too many good ones to play. So it's gonna take a little while, but I definitely have this on my list to get when I get the PS5.
It's a really good game. Just me watching my brother Des play it. It's freaking amazing. Oz, have you seen it?
Yeah. I've been, Connor loves Spider-Man, so naturally I start hearing about the new Spider-Man game coming out, and then they're throwing the black suit in there too, and I'm like, wait, what? My favorite suit's coming out? Ooh. So yeah, I've been paying attention to it. Unfortunately, I just haven't been in the gaming world anymore, so I'm sadly going to miss out on it, but I know Connor's going to get it, and well, he'll be excited to show me everything in high detail for weeks.
Did you see the Hot Toys black suit?
Oh,
it looks nice.
Looks nice. There's so many things that I try to resist. Like the Mafex black suit was like killing me. And then Hot Toys is going to go and start teasing me like that. And it's just like, guys, come on now. I mean, unless y'all are going to start paying me, I can't keep up with you.
I know. It's so true. It's so true. Lots, and I hope Shark gives us different physiques for Street Humans. Some short people, some heavy people, etc. We got to get through this campaign first before we can get to the
right. We got to get them over the line, guys. We got to get them over the line.
Guys, definitely support this project. I mean, one thing I really like about this project as well, guys, is that it's got a lot of articulation on the figures themselves. By the way, they were $28 for the figures. If you guys want, obviously you get to choose which version you want. But yeah, don't forget, they're not just humans; they're actually creatures which morph into humans. So you get a whole storyline behind it. It's really compelling. And of course, look at this articulation breakdown. I mean, there's a lot of great things here. For $28, guys, this is you know what, and this is a brand new figure set, $28 for this type of articulation. This is actually crazy, and when you really consider the fact that most Marvel Legends figures are getting up there in price. I mean, this is absolutely crazy. We got the ball joint with hinge on the top of the head. We got butterfly joints, shoulder hinge and swivel, bicep swivel, pinless double elbow joints. By the way, guys, if you're seeing the pins here, these are the pinless here, and then you'll see some of them early prototypes with pins. Those are very, very early, so you know, don't take those to heart. They're more like this one here, which is the pinless elbows, which came much later. Diaphragm ball joint, which is a lot of fun. Wrist swivel and hinge, horizontal hinge for weapons hands, abdominal crunch, ball jointed hips, waist swivel and pivoting, thigh swivels, pinless double knee joints, ankle pivot, toe joints. There it is. There's the toe articulation, which is Shartimus is always harping on everybody for that. Horizontal ankle swivel and vertical ankle hinge. Sorry, you guys were saying?
I said Dan would be happy about that too.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly, Dan.
Right? Like, you know, the thought out, the planning, the engineering behind this and all like that, you know, like a lot of people will praise AWOC on the amount of articulation that those figures have. And that's really the same kind of articulation you're looking to get here from these, is on that AWOC level. I'm a big fan of Legions, and you know what? They don't give you all of this. You don't get this with even something like Legions. And you're paying more for your Legions too. Mm-hmm. Like, you are paying more than that for basic Legions figures. You know, I can't say this enough. Like, really, guys, this is the kind of stuff, like, especially if you're getting mad at Hasbro. Like, we've seen Hasbro take a huge beating tonight, right? Okay. If you guys are done with Hasbro, reinvest in our community here with a great person like Shartimus, who's done quite a bit for helping build up this community. You know, let's get him backed, guys. Let's do it.
Stephen Boyd says, I'm all in for Street Humans. Yay, thugs.
Right? Look, man, somebody's finally making toys of the guys I used to hang out with in high school. I'm just saying.
Here's a good point too, actually. Stephen Boyd, these are a good deal. They have premium import level articulation. Wow.
That's what I'm saying.
That is a huge point. I mean, you know what? The average import figure is $60 to $90.
Yeah.
So in some cases, $120 freaking dollars for a single figure.
Right.
What are, you know? And the fact is, we're happy to pay that. That's what really kind of blows your mind, right? We are actually happy to pay that.
You're totally fine with that.
Who wouldn't want a $28 figure for that? With that level of articulation? That's just absolutely nuts. Shartimus, oh yeah, I've added the alien heads with the starter figure. There you go.
There it is, guys.
Here it is.
Come on.
That's huge value. Shartimus, Dan has been super supportive for the Street Humans. That's awesome. Yeah. I remember seeing the interview at New York Comic Con. Literally, they were like, Dan was the first one to jump in, support the Street Humans. I was like, whoa, that's a huge shout out. Like,
come on.
Somebody went out on a limb there. That's a rival toy company literally telling you to go support another toy company. That is just absolutely crazy. Oh wow.
Hey,
that is a good idea.
Here you go.
That is a great idea.
Why not, right?
Why not? God. That is crazy.
Couple of different head sculpts right there. Bam to bam to bam.
You can get a whole new fan base with that. I mean, seriously, that is scary stuff. Shartimus, pay this man the royalty. This was a good idea.
Get him a nickel.
Get him a nickel. Terrence St. John, I'm in, and I can't wait to see these in hand. That's awesome. Thank you, Terrence. As a matter of fact, why don't we take a really quick look at how it's doing? Because earlier today, Shartimus did a full live stream with his audience, and they were trying to push for a certain number of support, and I think that they got there. Hitting refresh, we are at 433 backers, and I know that Shartimus sometime this afternoon was shooting for 400 plus. So yeah, we're all the way up to 433 backers. They have a 36,391 pledges right now of a $120,000 U.S. Fund goal. Guys, we're there. 14 days left to go. This is amazing. It's already close to. I think it's over one third of the way there. So yeah, this is gonna be a lot of fun, guys. Definitely, guys, head over to the Kickstarter Street Humans project. Definitely give them some support. $28 for these figures. I think it's great. Shartimus says Clown Mask were on our radar for Joker Goons. You know what? It begins. You get some rabbit masks. You get some crazy, just absolute bonker clowns. Yeah, I think you got a whole another set of
Oh yeah.
even maybe some Juggalo paint. You know what I mean? Like,
ooh, hey, there you go.
that would be nuts.
Todd may buy a bunch of them.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know, even stuff like dead presidents. Do masks like that.
Yeah.
Question for Terrence St. John. Question for Shartimus: is Kickstarter reflecting this
Sales.
the sales? Sorry, yeah, that's right. Is Kickstarter reflecting the sales through BBTS and Nerdzoic? That is an interesting question. Shartimus says, "Shoot, if I can do purge masks, that would be sick." You know what? There's an idea. Like seriously, that is one heck of an idea. I think it really is. And like I said, give Raymond the royalty check right now. That was a crazy idea right there. Absolutely. Hyperdelic, I funded it, Shart. I want to see this happen, bro. Absolutely, my friend. Thank you so much for that. That's really awesome. Lawson, asking people to back it and retweet. Yes, thank you so much, Lawson. Guys, definitely share this on social media. TW, good morning, my friend. Good morning, dude. How you doing tonight? we are still here. Those look sick. Yes, they did. Absolutely. But yeah, yeah, absolutely. Shartimus, there was a question earlier. I think it was Terrence. Is the Kickstarter reflecting the sales through BBTS and Nerdzoic, or is that a completely separate thing? Let us know if you can. Not really sure if that was actually a thing. I was actually kind of curious myself, because that would definitely boost the numbers later. All about the villains.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, he says, "I will fund it. I must follow Jay."
What the hell, man? Don't follow me, man. That's a bad idea. All about the villains. Don't do what I do, man. Just So, Shard, tell BBTS to put up higher, to put you up higher on the page than just page 6.
Right?
Yeah, no, this is true. But they did put out a blast a little earlier, so I think everyone who saw it should know exactly what's going on. But you know what? They buy so much product, BBTS. It's absolutely crazy. So, Terrence St. John, really hoping that sales are hitting those avenues. Well, you know what? We will find out eventually. I'm pretty sure, but I think it's possibly something that Shark can't talk about because of legal reasons. So if you don't get an answer tonight, Terrence, I think we'll just leave it alone for now. Because again, some things we just can't talk about here on lives. Collect to disconnect. Super late, man.
Or early.
Oh, actually, there is an answer. Shartimus Brian, those numbers aren't in yet. We'll get the other retailers in later. There you go.
Nice.
There you go. No, Terrence. I didn't know, but Shartimus did answer it. So,
yep.
Again, there are certain things he wasn't. I didn't know he was going to answer it or not. I just covered all of us just in case, right? And no, of course, you meant no harm. We get that, brother. We get that. Yes, you are super enthusiastic. We can tell. We can definitely tell. Terrence is definitely a super fan of the Street Humans. Yeah, and there you go. Thanks for the update, 100%. So, guys, definitely support this project. Shartimus is definitely one of us in the community. He's an awesome toy tuber, and you guys should definitely check out this line if you're so inclined. And of course, it's a lot of fun. I really would like to see all the world building that is happening with this, because you know what? Seriously, the animation, and I would love to see more of that. I mean, this looks. I want to learn more about these characters, the world that they come from, because these are aliens who have come down to Earth to save the planet, right? So there's a lot of things to consider here with this line, and I'm super excited to see what the possibilities are for the future. It says Mr. Vice. I thought Oz was the only one sticking around for the short period of time as he had worked. This is true. Oz was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be here for a little bit, and I'm
only going to be here for 5 minutes, right? It's only been like 2 minutes, right?
Oh my god, Chris Allen, love the animation, absolutely, guys. Once again, definitely check out the Street Humans on Kickstarter. $28 per figure, live on Kickstarter. 14 days to go, so there's lots of time. Actually, there's not a lot of time. I'm going to take that back. Definitely back this sooner or later. Oh wow, it's 31% of its goal. I thought it was like more of a quarter of the way, but that's awesome. This project is 31% as well. Congratulations to the team and of course Shottermus for making this happen. This is
there we go.
Amazing. Shredder
updates.
Shredder Ooze has backed this on BBTS. Lotson says, I will back Street Humans trying to decide what to get. Seems like I'm going to be saving $200 on the Giant Man anyway. That's not what Jeffrey wants to hear, man. That's not what Jeffrey wants to hear.
but you got to back both, because who's Giant Man going to pick up if you only back one or the other, right?
Oh my gosh, this is going to be. Hey, you know what? This one, you don't have to put your money. Like the money will not go out unless it backs anyway. So just do it. Just do it anyway. Terrence St. John, this is a niche that will need filling for toy photography and diorama purposes. If not, it's for its own merit and extra alien heads and the storyline. Thank you so much, Terrence. Right. Yeah, Terrence is definitely excited about this. Maximum Max just pledged for 8 figures. Want to put these guys with my Batman figure case. If you could scale them with a couple of Batman figures, good luck, Shartimus. Thank you, Maximum Max. That is awesome. You are an awesome dude. You are great. Lots has already backed the the Giant Man.
Okay.
So there you go. And Shartimus says thanks to Shredder. Yes, thank you so much. And Shartimus, Maximum Max backed 8 of these ones. You got to give him a heads up. That's amazing. Chris Allen, can't afford the Giant Man or the Mothership campaigns, but I will get the Street Humans. Thank you so much, Chris. Collect to disconnect. At this point, I'm using that $320 for Giant Man or expensive dinner for me and my wife.
She'll understand. Just get figures.
I know, right?
What's seen the articulation?
What's sleeping in the doghouse anyway?
Sleep in your cat's lair that you purchased too, right?
The fill-in attorney just order from BBTS. Thank you guys. It means a lot. Shartimus, shout out to Maximum Max. Thank you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. Guys, definitely check out Street Humans. They have 14 days to go. Don't sleep on this. It really is an amazing opportunity. We're gonna get Shartimus back on the channel eventually to wrap all of this up. I'm pretty sure he's probably gonna have time, if he does, on Oz's channel and possibly on Jeffrey's channel. Everyone's gonna reach out and try to get Shartimus and get everybody the info on Street Humans. Guys, thanks again. Definitely check out Street Humans. 31% of its goal. This is absolutely awesome. Lotson says, back Giant Man in the first 30 minutes. I want it as much as Jeffrey, I assure you. Just love poking fun. It's how you deal with anxiety following the legend.
It's very stressful sometimes.
We've got to joke about it. We've got to joke.
On the plus side, it's already funded more and got more backers than the Engine of Vengeance.
Ooh,
and that's a shining star of hope right there, right? That at least gives us a glimmer.
Oh my gosh. Terrence St. John, Giant Man will take your place in the marital bed. Oh, that is one lonely.
Too many jokes to really roll off right there.
All right, guys, definitely check out Street Humans. You will not regret it. It's a wonderful line, which is, again, you have 14 days, lots of time, and of course, definitely check them out. These guys are really exciting. I'm excited for this, and definitely going to try and get Shartimus back on for a couple of more interviews to talk a little bit more about Street Humans, because there's a lot to talk about, a lot to tick in.
Yep.
Guys, thank you for joining us tonight. Oz, my friend, what are you up to these days, and how can people reach you?
Shoot, well, like earlier, I was just saying I was hanging out with the guys from Off Worlds, and of course, wasn't even planning on being here tonight, but Jay goes live, and it's like, hey, you know what? I haven't sat down with Jay for a minute. We got some things to talk about. We're definitely going to be jumping in on these. So caught me here tonight. Tomorrow, anywhere between 9 p.m. Eastern and 10 p.m. Eastern, be going live on Ostradamus Toys. It'll be one of my usual Clubhouse hangout sessions where we stream for anywhere between, on the small end, my streams go for about 5 hours, and then on the long ends, we get 8.5 hours or whatever it is. So definitely check me out there tomorrow night, and you'll see many other wonderful, amazing toy tubers joining and jumping in as well, just unboxing stuff and having a good time. This upcoming Sunday, I will actually be on Allison Troy's channel. We're going to be coloring some Ghostbusters. And then for next week, the first confirmed show that I'm going to be on next week will be Thursday on Skelevator's channel on our great old show, Toy Frenzy. So definitely check me out. Plus, anywhere else I'm going to pop up on ToyTube in the next 24, 38, 76 hours. We all know I don't sleep, and I just show up anywhere.
Join the club there, Oz. We're all in the same boat together. Jeff, what are you up to, my friend, and how can people check you out and reach you?
Check me out on Lyle's Figure Files. Yeah, so I'll probably be back on Monday as the final countdown plays for the Giant Man HasLab. So I'll pop some sparkling apple cider if it does fun and have the sad hat if it does not. So we'll see. Very anxious about that. On Friday, we're going to do the celebrating Jeff's birthday with the 1027 Pulse reveal. So I'm looking forward to that. And then over the weekend, I'll be talking about whatever Hasbro shows at the London Toy Fair. So looking forward to that.
Excellent. Thank you, Jeff. Guys, definitely check out Lyle's Figure Files on YouTube. Definitely check out Ostradamus Toys on YouTube. Wonderful toy tubers and content creators. You guys will not regret the content that they deliver. I mean, if you're into deep dives on Marvel figures, DC figures, any sort of like comic book talk, Jeffrey is your man. Oz does not sleep. He basically is the streaming guru. So definitely check him out. Definitely check out Skelevator as well. And of course, their Toy Frenzy episodes with Bobby. You guys will not regret it. It's a lot of fun. Plastic Boy Wonder says, damn, I'm ordering 8, which drops the price all the way to $25 a figure. I'm in for sure. Holy crap. I did not even realize that, guys. There's an idea for you. You definitely want all those background characters. Thank you so much, Plastic Wonder Boy. You're awesome. Lawson, we're going to roll it out here. I'll be on Monday, Jeffrey, to watch with you and for the Pulse reveal if I can. Thank you so much, Lawson. Love the support. Jeff, you're the one. You're the only one in the chat room who doesn't look like a dwarf from Lord of the Rings.
Very dangerous over short distances.
Oh my god, that's so awesome.
I'm a ranger from the north.
He is a ranger from the north. Oh my gosh. Collecting to disconnect. Don't cry, my friend. It's all good. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It'll fun, Jeff. I have faith. There we go. Yes, indeed. I believe so too. 100%.
So George Michael told me.
I think it's a little higher at 8. 24 a piece should be around the 20 pack, but that's still okay. Which means the more you buy, the less it is. So guys, definitely support the Street Humans on Kickstarter. You guys will not regret it. Terrence St. John, welcome to the fellowship. We're all going to Mount Doom together.
Did we just get rebranded?
I know, right? Exactly. James Moreau, CJ James. This episode of Mega J Retro's Files has been filed. Not quite yet. We're going to get to there in a second, guys. But you know what? On that note, Jeffrey, why don't you take us away?
All right. Well, fellas, thank you so much for tuning in. This episode of The Fellowship has officially been filed.
Guys, I hope you're all doing well. Staying safe. Actually, Oz, any last words as we are logging off tonight?
Yeah, guys, look, it's a crappy world we live in right now, and there's a lot of bad stuff going on. So appreciate having all of you joining us here tonight to forget about all that madness, talk about this fun passion that we all share, we all love. And as much as we can be critical about these toy companies, let's just remember that they're also trying to bring joy into this world with the rest of us, and not just for us, but kids of all ages. Kids are still buying toys, people. You know, I know a lot of us don't like to think so, but it's true. And it's our job to share that passion with the younger ones too. So stay positive, make sure that you're spreading the love with everybody, and just try to forget about all that nonsense for like, what, 2 hours, 38 minutes, 30 seconds, counting down.
Still going.
And, you know, so.
Oz just doesn't want this to stop. I should have let him go first and then Jeffrey. But anyway,
Right. Well, I'll be talking here until I go live tomorrow night.
pretty fun. Terrence, we'll let you have the last word for tonight. But we had toys and we have each other. You got to get older, but you don't have to grow up. That's right. Stay nerdy, everybody. That's another great one. Wonderful lines from a lot of different toy tubers. Great advice. Guys, I want to thank my special guest, Oz, and of course, Jeffrey from Oz Figure Files. Guys, you are amazing. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Guys, I hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And again, guys, if you're going through some rough times, because there are a lot of people going through rough times all around the world, don't keep it quiet. Definitely reach out to any of us. We would definitely love to give you guys some support. This community is amazing. I hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. This edition of Lyle's Figure Files has been filed. Good night, everybody.